What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. And welcome to the first post-game show of the 2023 season. I hope that we would be celebrating a win, but the Dodgers, they lose to the D-backs by a final score of 2-1. We have so much to get into. The Dodgers, they waste an absolute gem by Dustin May tonight. He was fantastic. May was mesmerizing. He was great. We're gonna break that all down, really show you how that really is the most important thing. Is Dustin May, he was fantastic. 7 scoreless, allowed just 3 hits and a walk, just 84 pitches, final 3 innings, and the strikeouts in the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. The first time he's ever gone into the 7th inning, and he ends up completing that inning. But we're going to give out grades. I'm going to give you my big takeaways. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I didn't like. We're going to break it all down. And also, I'm looking for that comment of the night. If I see that comment of the night, you're going to see this. Actually, you're going to see this.
You win.
And if you bring those fire takes, you're going to get one of these.
Fire take.
So let's have some fun, Dodgers Nation. Back in the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Let's see what we're seeing on these comments. We had DKM. Yo, D-Mac. What up, DKM? Freeman 0 for 5. That can happen. That's from 5150 Rams fan. Yeah. If you look at this offense tonight, I mean, they had so many opportunities. They had men on base every single inning tonight. They just weren't able to put together that big rally. If you look at some of the hard contact, some of the expected batting average all night long, the Dodgers, they just had bad luck, and that's going to happen sometimes. But if you look at as a whole tonight, the Dodgers just couldn't get that big hit when they needed to. We're going to break it down each inning there where they struggled. But yeah, the Dodgers just couldn't get that big hit. And it's unfortunate because I was really getting that PTSD, as I should call really with the post-traumatic San Diego, because if you look at the game tonight, I was feeling, okay, it reminds me of that NLDS. The Dodgers just could not get that big hit. If you look at their numbers tonight, LA just struggled, and it's unfortunate because last night they scored 8 runs. They were building that momentum, but there were some good positive takeaways. We're going to look at the Mitch Lotta half full in a little bit, but yeah, the big story tonight, Dustin May was dominant, but the Dodgers offense, they just could not put together that big rally. LA just struggled. They just could not get it done. But we're going to bring it up. Here we go. There's my comments. Here we go. We got Orlando. Mookie at-bats have been terrible, swinging at balls outside of the zone, regardless of his home run. That's a great point, Orlando, and that's what I have in my big takeaways today, was the Dodgers. They were chasing at pitches outside of the zone. They were expanding the zone. We saw multiple times in big situations. James Outman early in the game, a couple changeups down the zone, a couple breaking balls, a slider. We saw it with Miguel Rojas. He was another guy that chased outside of the zone. So other than Will Smith, who was spitting on pitches right on the black, right borderline strikes, and he took that 11-pitch walk, took another walk. Yeah, really that was one of the big issues tonight was the Dodgers. They were expanding the zone in big situations. And yeah, I mean, a hit here, a hit there, and they're going to be okay. But yeah, this Diamondbacks team, look, the reality is, 5 hits for the Dodgers tonight, 1 run for the Dodgers tonight. You are not going to win very many games when your offense looks like that. That offense was ice cold, and Mookie Betts, he gets the Dodgers on the board with a home run late in the game. And even if you look at that inning for the Dodgers, they had an opportunity to tack on some more runs, but they just weren't able to do it. Jump into the bottom of the 7th, Miguel Rojas, he strikes out swinging for the first out. Then on an 0-2 pitch, Mookie hits his first bomb of the year, 0-2 count. That goes as his first hit of the year, puts the Dodgers up 1-0. I've got Mookie hitting 37 bombs this year, so I'm feeling good about that. But backup slider, he put a good swing on it, and then the Dodgers, they take that lead. Then Freddie Freeman, he grounds the second for the second out. Then Will Smith, he singles to left. Then after that, Max Muncy, he smokes one to left. Nice play by McCarthy, but that goes for another out. And if you look at even earlier in the game, the 3rd inning for the Dodgers, they had a great opportunity to really jump on this team early in the game, and Mookie Betts, he draws that leadoff walk to start the frame there in the bottom of the 3rd. Then Freeman, he flies to right for the first out. Then Will Smith, he smoked one to left for the second out. Max Muncy, he smoked one to center for the 3rd out. And if you look at the expected batting averages on those, I mean, Will Smith's line out, 110.8 miles per hour off the bat, an expected batting average of 920. It was the hardest hit ball of the night. Max Muncy, 109.7 miles per hour off the bat, a 640 expected batting average. Later in the game, David Peralta, later in the game with Miguel Rojas, and he was there in a big spot there in the 8th inning, 98.7 miles per hour off the bat, a 630 expected batting average. So in that inning, the Dodgers had another opportunity to jump ahead after Martinez. Yeah, bad night for JD Martinez. Not a great night for Freddie Freeman, who goes 0 for 5. But, yeah, 2-out walk for Miguel Vargas there in the 8th. And then McGough comes in to face James Outman with Vargas at first with 2 outs. And on a 1-1 pitch, McGough throws that splitter, bounces. Vargas advances into scoring position with 2 outs. And then Outman on a 3-2 count draws that 2-out walk. A great take by Outman. The first thing that crossed my mind was Cody Bellinger would have swung at that. Now, I'm not going to make these Cody versus Outman comparisons all year. I'm not going to do the Outman upgrade, the Cody and Outman comparisons to try to bash the two. I mean, you could easily say, look, Cody Bellinger, upgrade key, James Outman. We're not going to do that. So that gets the Dodgers into a rally situation. Then on a 1-0 pitch, Miguel Rojas, he hits that liner to short to end the threat. In most cases, that's going to go for a hit. So, yeah, sometimes you just don't have the luck, and tonight was one of those nights for this Dodgers offense. But let's jump into these comments. What were your big takeaways from tonight? We're going to grade Dustin May's performance, have a lot to get into with this one. So, yeah, Dustin May, he was fantastic. And really, down the line, the most important thing from today, look, you're going to win, you're going to lose a lot of games in Major League Baseball, right? And tonight, the big thing, though, is that Dustin May, he looks like he's primed for a big year. I picked him back in November to make the All-Star team, and tonight he really showed those flashes. We're going to get into his performance, and we're going to throw out those grades, too. But Jaime Gonzalez thought Roberts would have pinch hit for Muncy in the 9th from Jaime Gonzalez. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, too. It was a possibility. But, look, Muncy was hitting the ball hard all night long, and it's a situation where he's going to get those results. He's going to get those results early on in the season. We saw last year not too much using of his bench. I mean, the way he utilized his bench, you didn't see very much of it. So, yeah, in that situation, the way that Muncy was hitting the ball all night, I think that was fine. I mean, I don't have any problems with that. I mean, it did cross my mind, but it just kind of shows you the trust that he has in that bench. I mean, when you consider all those guys on the bench, it's really their first at-bat of the season, right, with Barnes, with Thompson, with Chris Taylor. So you can really have him cold off the bench. Yeah, I just don't see it there. But if you look at that at bat there, I mean, he swung at strike for strike one. It was a slider down and away. He swings and misses. Then for strike two, he takes that looking, and then kind of the outer half, another slider, and he flies out. So yeah, I mean, you would like to see a better at-bat there from Max Muncy, but, yeah, it just didn't happen. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, the offense was just cold all night long. You need to see this offense really put together some better at-bats. One of the keystones for this team, one of their hallmarks is that they do not expand the strike zone. We saw that too many times tonight, and it really cost this Dodgers offense. Like I said, they got BABIP to death, some of those expected batting averages, the way they hit the ball hard, but they just did not get the results. But, yeah, I mean, when you consider it's a Chafin, you got a lefty-lefty matchup on there. I mean, it kind of shows you, too. I mean, he's a lefty if he really has that trust in Trayce Thompson, who had those reverse splits last season, who did have a 629 OPS versus Southpaws. Kind of shows you kind of the direction they're probably heading. Doesn't have a lot of confidence in him. But, yeah, that was a situation where if you do have a guy you can trust off the bench against a lefty, that is where you want to use him in that spot. But let's jump back in the comments, guys, do some rapid fire here. Imagine hating on Freddie Freeman, SMH, Jamie Lannister. Yeah, look, Freddie Freeman is going to have an off night. All the greats have an off night. I mean, in the course of 162 games, you're going to lose. Okay, that's just what Major League Baseball is all about. I mean, with Freddie Freeman tonight, not the best. I mean, you didn't see a lot of great hard contact, but he made that really nice defensive play to get the lead runner there in the top of the 9th inning to get Carroll. So defensively, he's always going to play fantastic. But, yeah, we'll step into the box like we're going to do this whole season, where we step into the box score and give you some of their numbers. And tonight, stepping into the box, Freddie Freeman goes 0 for 5. And, yeah, goes 0 for 5 tonight. And he really wasn't up in situations with runners in scoring position. I mean, if you look at last season, this team first in the league with runners in scoring position. Freddie Freeman, one of the best clutch hitters in the game last year. Tonight, didn't even get those opportunities. The Dodgers, they did go 0 for 7 with runners on scoring position. They did strand a small village out there. They left more traffic on the base pass tonight in the 405 freeway at 5 o'clock during rush hour. But still, Freddie Freeman wasn't one of those guys that got those opportunities. But, yeah, we're going to keep jumping jumping into it. But yeah, give me all your thoughts on Dustin May's start tonight. And do you think that Dustin May is going to be an all-star? Like I said back in November, 2023 was going to be the year of Dustin Mania. I picked him to have that leap like we saw from Tony Gonsolin last season. And tonight, I thought he was superb. He was fantastic out there. And this Diamondbacks team, they do have some hitters. I mean, it's not like they're the bottom of the barrel type team. I mean, they're not a great team. They're probably not going to make the postseason, but still, I thought Dustin May in his first start as a confidence booster, I think this was massive for D. May. But give me your grade for Dustin May. I'll be the first to throw mine out. I'm going to give him an A for Dustin Mania, just for strikeouts, but those strikeouts came in big spots to end innings. You saw him use that cutter. You saw him use that curveball. You saw him change those speeds, and I think the thing that really stood out to me with Dustin May was the consistency in his delivery. During spring training, when I talked to him, he told me that is the biggest key. As long as his delivery is consistent, that allows him to throw strikes and trust his stuff. Also saw him use that pitch clock to his advantage. You saw him out there almost keeping hitters off balance because just felt like he was throwing 98-mile-per-hour sinkers, 92, 93-mile-per-hour cutters, working in a changeup, working that curveball, and he was just mowing him down. I think that allows him, too, to stay present, stay in the moment, and not think too much. And you saw him induce a lot of soft contact. You saw him get the strikeouts when he needed to, and I thought that it was a very encouraging start tonight for Dustin May, who I'm telling you is going to be an NL All-Star. But let's jump back into that comment section. Give me your grades for Dustin May. We'll continue to break down this game. By the way, if you're new to the show, it's the Dodgers Nation post-game show, number one post-game show for the Dodgers on YouTube, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going to be going live more than we ever have. We got Jim Beam in the mix. Shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to your fire takes. Let's get some fire takes here. Happy Friday to Anthony King. Dustin May gets a B for me. Needs more strikeouts. That's from Justin Lamas. Yeah, I mean, if you look at his start tonight, to me, the strikeouts are going to come as long as he continues to trust his stuff. It continues to pound the zone with strikes, and that is, it sounds simple, right? But when your stuff, like I always say, it moves more than military family. When his stuff moves so much, it almost has a mind of its own. And for him to throw that for strikes and work both sides of the plate, he was working all different quadrants of the zone tonight, and I think that was what was so impressive about him. I mean, you saw a lot of soft contact, too. Look, sometimes soft contact is just as good as getting strikeouts because if you look at his pitch count tonight, gets through 7 innings on 84 pitches. How are you able to do that? Well, you get ground ball outs. You do pitch to contact. You don't nibble. When you trust your stuff, it's going to hit bats. And his stuff has natural sink to it and is able to induce soft contact. You saw on the top of the first, a 3-2 count to Rojas, gets him to ground to third for the first out. Gets Marte to fly to center for the second out. Gets Gurriel Jr. to fly to center for the third out. So he was inducing a lot of soft flyouts, a lot of soft ground balls. And then, here we go. But yeah, I think Dustin May, he was just really fantastic tonight. I was very impressed with his outing. Jumping to, the other big key, the big takeaway too. Let's talk more Dustin May. Leave your thoughts on Dustin May down below. Give me your grades. No need to overreact. Dustin May was fire. That's from Rebecca over on YouTube. Angie over on YouTube. Dustin May is the best pitcher for a year. Are you talking about for the Dodgers? Are you talking about for all of Major League Baseball? Are you throwing out a Cy Young pick there? What are we talking about? Because that would be a fire take.
Fire take.
Dustin May fire from Daniel Macy. We got Verdell. Unless a reliever is named Mariano Rivera, you always cross your fingers and hope they throw good pitches when the game is close. Yeah, we're going to talk about Alex Vesia in a second here. I've got some thoughts on him. We're going to throw out my grade for Alex Vesia because I think this is going to be a little bit of an adjustment for Vesia, and I'll tell you why. One, last season, he had the 8th longest time in between pitches at 24.8 seconds. A lot of these pitchers that you talk to during spring training about the pitch clock and the rules, they said, oh, yeah, it's fine. It's a game of adjustments. We're working on it. We're going to be okay. Alex Vesia is the only guy that I talk to where I sensed a little bit of, hey, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. And Alex Vesia is a guy that he brings it every single pitch. He maxes out every single pitch. And you saw last season, he started out really strong, hit a little bump, and then he was lights out for the final 3 months of the year. Last 25 and 2/3 innings, this guy allowed 3 runs. The strikeouts were there. The elevated fastball was his money pitch. Opponents hit 119 off that elevated heater, and that's where you weren't seeing him locate tonight. And command is key for Alex Vesia, and yeah, we're going to discuss that as well. So throw out your grade for Alex Vesia too. Talk a little more about Dustin May. Jamie Lander says, May is going to be a workhorse. Strikeouts are overrated. Give me ground balls like I was just talking about right now. Ground balls keep you in games. Ground balls balls are their soft contacts, flyouts, ground balls. That's how you keep that pitch count nice and low, and the punch-outs are there when you need it with Dustin May. That's the biggest key. It's not always the big strikeout numbers. It's are you getting the strikeouts when you need them to end innings in high-leverage spots, and you're going to see him get those this season. But yeah, jumping to the bottom of the first, Mookie Betts, he grounded first for the first out. Freeman struck out looking for the second out. Then Will Smith, a fantastic, really at-bat of the night. We're going to do an at-bat of the night. He drew an 11-pitch walk. He was down 1-2 in the count. He was spoiling pitches, spitting on pitches, and his strike zone awareness, his pitch recognition is uncanny. It's one of the reasons why he is such a special hitter. He's gotten off to such a great start. Will Smith, hey, man, this is a guy who, I mean, we're just two games into a 162-game season, but Will Smith has come out of the gates very strong, and I think he wants to make a case. He wants to make his name known early on this season that, hey, I'm going to just make my name undeniable. I'm going to make that NL All-Star team, and I think at this point, I'm confident that he's going to be the starting catcher. He's going to be behind the dish, starting for the NL All-Star team. That is how good of a catcher. I mean, I almost think saying he's the best hitting catcher is really starting to be a disservice to Will Smith. I think Will Smith is a guy who you, maybe by the end of the year, you talk about as a guy who's among some of the better hitters in the game. He just hits the ball hard, and you saw that once again tonight. If you look at the way he started this season, it's been very impressive through 2 games. And yeah, hopefully, I think that's going to continue all season long. Will Smith so far is 4 for 7 with a double and 4 RBIs and 2 walks. I'm not going to read those OPS stats because, 13, 14 OPS, can't take too much from that after 2 games. But we got Justin Lamas, Max Muncy playing like he want to get DFA. That's from Justin Lamas. So, Justin, your takes are always appreciated here. I agree with some of them, some I don't. But like I said, guys, this is a safe space, okay? This is the circle of trust in here. We don't always have to agree on everything, and I think that is one of the things that makes this show unique to other shows that really just kind of want to be an echo chamber and agree with everything. But tonight, I think it was a different story. Max Muncy, he did not see the results he was looking for, but he still hit the ball hard. And yesterday, he had the Olympic rings game. You know what the Olympic rings game is, right? It's when you strike out 5 times. And he had the 5 punch-outs yesterday. Tonight, he goes 1 for 5. So, yeah, hitting 100 on the season. I can do the math top of my head. There you go. And he was over 1 with runners in scoring position. But, yeah, if you look at on the surface level, yes, it does appear that he struggled, but he could have easily gone 3 for 5 tonight. If you jump to the top of the second, keep breaking this game down. Shiv Band, nerfed Freddie. Nando Anthony Rendon wants all the smoke. Yeah, what'd you guys think about that? Anthony Rendon, man, he's not about this. It's so sensitive. What a sensitive Sally out there. I mean, he's kind of like the Karen of Major League Baseball players right now. But yeah, if you jump to top of the second inning, Dustin May strikes out Walker, swinging with a curveball, bottom of the zone for the first out. 3-0 count to Carroll. He doubles to right. I thought this was one of the only really bad at-bats for May on the night, is that at-bat against Carroll. He just did not have the control, the command on that 4-seam fastball. It was a 4-seamer on the outer half. And yeah, you got to see May get himself ahead of the count all season long. That is when he really has a lot of success. He's very effective. Then an 0-1 pitch to Moreno, grounds to third, second out. First pitch to McCarthy, fly out for the third out. So that shows you got to get the soft contact. And with that sink, with that cutter, he's going to be doing that. So he works his way around that 1-out double, then jump to the bottom of the second. Peralta, leadoff single. Let me remind you once again, the Dodgers tonight, they score one run tonight on 5 hits, but they had a man on base. They had a base runner every single inning in this game. We're only able to put 1 run across. So, yeah, Dustin May will be an all-star. That's from Diane Schroeder. There you go. Fire take. But Vesia's stuff, his flat all spring was like that. That's from Marco Rubio. Yeah, sometimes he gets into these funks. And for him, you're not going to see his fastball really plays up because of the spin, because of the extension, because of where he throws it in the count and in the zone. And he's not a guy that's going to pump 98, 99 miles per hour, but it does play up. When it's flat, though, like you just said right now, he is going to struggle if he misses his spots. And you saw him miss his spot to Kyle Lewis, and we'll get to that in a second. So be sure to throw out your grade for Dustin May, and do you think he's going to be an all-star? Let me know down below. If you're on Twitter, be sure to retweet the show. If you're on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do that. We're going to have a crazier interviews, new shows, new content, tons of giveaways all season long. So it's going to be your place following every single Dodger game where I'm going to do the post-game show, which is going to be a good amount of them. So not every single game, but we're doing tons and tons of games this year. Justin Lambas, 4 Ks, 7 innings pitched, is not an A, so a B. That's from Justin Lambas. You're getting too caught up in the strikeouts, my man. Anthony Keene, I got Dustin May, Julio Mookie, Freddie, and Muncy as all-stars this season. Now, look, usually sometimes you'll have 3 relievers. I think Evan Phillips, you saw him restore order tonight there in the 8th inning when Alex Vesia wasn't able to get the job done. So, yeah, I think so. Devin, to answer your question, he says, D-Mac, why isn't Trace out there over the other new signings? I think he earned it last year. Well, Devin, look, if you look at Trace Thompson towards the last month of the season into the postseason, he struggled mightily. I mean, he really, really struggled, and I think that's really what it's about. And, yeah, if you look at his at-bats during spring training, wasn't that much better. If you look at the World Baseball Classic, he did have some moments. But, yeah, Trace Thompson is a guy that he's going to get his opportunities. I mean, don't kid yourself. He is going to get his opportunities, but he's going to have to prove that he can hit against left-handed pitching and also that he can put the ball in play, because his swing has been looking longer than a CVS receipt during spring training in the last half of last season, and that's really been the issue. I mean, if you look at the NLDS, Trace Thompson goes 2 for 13, hit 154, had 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. So, yeah, he definitely struggled down the stretch, and that's one of the reasons why you're not seeing him out there. I mean, Trace Thompson, last month of the season into the postseason, he struck out almost 50% of his at-bats. So, yeah, you definitely want to see him have a little more success when he gets his opportunities. And, yeah, the Dodgers are still trying to see if he can be that guy that had that 145 OPS plus, hit 13 bombs, had 14 doubles. But, yeah, you need to see him do it against the lefties. And I think that if he didn't have those reverse splits last year, I think there is a chance you could have seen him in there, or maybe possibly tonight pinch hitting for Max Muncy. But unfortunately, I think that it was a little unrealistic. I mean, I just think if you consider how his year ended in September, his statistics just took a cliff, just took an absolute dive. So, and also, too, they want to see Max Muncy really establish himself as an all-star once again. So he's going to get a long leash and a lot of opportunities to have success. And, yeah, like I said, Max Muncy hit the ball hard, and we're going to continue to break down this game. But let me know down below, is D-May going to be an all-star? Give me all your give me your hottest Dodger take for the season right now, too, guys. We can just bring it down below in the comments section. But, yeah, we got over here, there we go. Where's my comment section? There we go. We got Dougie Fresh from Miguel Robles. What up, Miguel Robles over on YouTube? DKM, when are they going to bring up Gavin Stone? I mean, look, I think Gavin Stone, he is going to get his opportunity, but I've cautioned everyone out there that are saying, have Gavin Stone come up already. Why wasn't Gavin Stone called up after Ryan Pepio had the oblique injury? Why didn't he make the opening day roster when he is a guy that had a 1.48 ERA at 3 levels last season, a guy that improved at each and every level? Well, here's why. He is still green. Also, he's not on the 40-man roster, too, so you're going to have to make a move there. But they could do that if they thought he was ready. But look, like I've been telling people, Gavin Stone's going to be great. And he's going to be a stone's throw away from Dodger Stadium at some point this season. But if you look at his numbers tonight, he actually struggled in his first start of the 2023 season. He went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs on 5 hits, had 3 walks, 3 punch-outs, 3 home runs. Talked to some people that were at the game down there, and they said the command was a little off with Gavin Stone. So, yeah, it's all part of the process. Let's not forget, he's still a little raw, still a little green, and he has thrown just 23 1/3 innings at the AAA level. So just be patient with Gavin Stone. Okay, looking forward to Kershaw versus Bumgarner tomorrow, Deborah Young. Yeah, by the way, fun fact, Madison Bumgarner dated someone named, you guessed it, Madison Bumgarner. Look it up if you don't believe me. Diane Schroeder, Alex Vesia, we need more time to adjust to the pitch clock. A B grade. That's a pretty generous grade, Diane Schroeder. A B grade. I think for Alex Vesia tonight, I'm going to have to give him a C-. I'll give him a C- tonight. The command wasn't there. who's missing his spots. But, yeah, I'm like the Russian judge. Okay, I'm a tough grader here. David Sabathal, Dustin May could be our best pitcher when it's all said and done. Doug, do you agree? Our best pitcher on this year's team? I don't think that is that far-fetched. I don't think that is something that you would just laugh at or say it's not a crazy take. But, I mean, you consider how stacked this rotation is with guys like Julio Urias, with Clayton Kershaw, Noah Syndergaard. We'll see what he has. But, yeah, I think that's a fair take. I think stuff-wise, it's second to none. Not even just on the Dodgers, but all of Major League Baseball. I mean, that stuff is box office. It is electric. He is a walking pitching ninja tweet. I mean, this guy is one of the more viral pitchers in the game. So, yeah, I definitely think that he has the stuff to be the best pitcher on the Dodgers. And, hey, there's a reason why I've been brazen and bullish about picking Dustin May. I've seen a lot of people say that in the last few months, but I was saying it back in November because, yeah, I just trust this guy's stuff, his work ethic. And, look, sometimes when a guy has Tommy John surgery and he comes back, and he came back late last year, you saw the game he had against the Marlins, the 9 punchies, he was dominant. And then he struggled with the command. Usually it's the second year when pitchers start to pick up steam. And I think you're going to see that with Dustin May. The ump was not great tonight. That's from Seth Gribble, Anthony Keene. I think that's the first Fire Roberts take of the night. There you go.
Fire take.
5 Ks, Justin Lamas. How many innings did Urias go? What was that here? I'll ask you guys. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at this Dodger, we're back into the comment section. Okay, there we go. Hollywood Lifestyle from Justin Lamas. We got, do you know Padres started horrible? Yeah, the Padres, I think they lost again tonight, so that feels good. Breaking Rendon, Seth Gribble. Rendon ain't going to make it all 162, reacting like that. Yeah, man, he's trying to go Ron Artest, Malice at the Palace, trying to choke fans out there. I mean, I think it just kind of shows the frustration level. But, yeah, these guys – look, I will say this. I mean, these guys definitely hear and they watch and more than you would know, more than you ever would know. These guys, they're definitely, I mean, I think a lot of them definitely can tune out the fans, but they definitely feel it. There's no question about it. Matty Man Dodge, Doug, the Dodgers hit some scorching liners early right at guys. Yeah, we've talked about that. I mean, first to the top of the third. Thomas grounded his second for the first out. Well, actually, no, the bottom of the second inning, Peralta led off with a single to right. Then Peralta was caught stealing with the first out. By the way, the Diamondbacks 2 for 2 tonight on reviews, so give them credit. Definitely got those reviews right. And Peralta has, and look, base stealing yesterday was the most bases stolen on opening day since 1907. Guys were having a 91% success rate. Well, Peralta, he didn't have that same luck. I mean, he was caught stealing for the first out. Then on a 2-2 count, Miggy Vargas, he doubled to center. What'd you think of some of the rookies tonight, Vargas and Outman? I thought Vargas looked so comfortable, so poised at the plate. And that hit tonight he got in the bottom of the second, that is the hit you are going to see him for his whole career. That is going to be the patented Miguel Vargas hit, that gapper. I think he's a guy that's going to hit 40 doubles in a season at some point. So also nice 2-strike hitting tonight for the most part too. That was on a 2-2 count. And then with 1 out and Vargas in the scoring position on a 2-2 count, James Outman, he strikes out on a changeup low and away. So another one of my big takeaways, too, is a lot of chasing. What has made this team so great offensively through the years is they don't chase. They don't expand the strike zone. And what does that do? That gives them pitches to hit. It also builds up the count for opposing pitchers. They are able to draw walks. So you have to maintain that same strategy. And James Outman is a guy who is still getting experience against big league spin. And we need to see that this entire year. Like I said, look, I believe in James Outman like Mr. Miyagi believes in Daniel LaRusso, but LaRusso also had to have his losses, right? He had to get beat up a couple times before he could sweep the leg. So I think at this point with James Outman, we're in that stage where you want to see him facing elite big league pitching. You want to see him facing big league spin. I'm thinking I want to see him see more action against lefties too. But, yeah, he strikes out on that changeup low and away. Then on a 1-2 count, Rojas strikes out on a cutter down and away. So 2 examples there of chasing outside of the zone on back-to-back at-bats when you have a runner on second there in the bottom of the second. So they had that leadoff single by Peralta. You had the double to center there by Vargas, and they weren't able to capitalize. Like I said, they could have gone off with a death blow. The Dodgers could have scored 8 to 9 to 10 runs in this game. Jamie Lannister, just from a baseball observation standpoint, yeah, I mean, Jamie Lannister says that I have no more Coke Zeros. I had to go Diet Coke. They had none at 7-Eleven, guys. I only shop at 7-Eleven, by the way. Jamie Lannister says that JD Martinez's bat speed looks a little slow. I would agree with you on that. I mean, you saw him swinging and missing at fastballs up in the zone, sliders up in the zone, just unable to get to some of those pitches. And that really has been his issue in the last few seasons, is his inability to take advantage of pitches out over the plate and punish mistakes like he had during his peak season. So definitely agree with that. But he's a guy that figures things out. He's a hitting junkie. For him, it sometimes takes some time, and he is a self-admitted slow starter. So just Dingers is going to get it together. I think he's going to provide some consistency. I mean, you saw last night he was one of the guys who got the big hit there. So Edwin Rios over JD. No, I disagree with that. J Kid. Edwin Rios over JD. First of all, I appreciate the attempt at the nickname, calling him JD Old Tinez, though. That made me laugh. A fire take. A shallow roster rebuild year. That's from Unkind. Joshua Holtz. This is Roberts, so it's proving nothing. Roy Estrada. That was a great outing by May. Hate no run support. Yeah, no run support for May. He was mesmerizing. He was fantastic. 7 shutty for D-May. So jumping to the top of the third inning, Thomas ground to second for the first out. Perdomo walked on 5 pitches, all 4 four-seam fastballs, and he was missing. So it was only walk of the night for May there, and yeah, he just did not have the fastball command. That opens everything up for Dustin May. Look, there is a lot of great pitches out there. There's cutters, there's splitters, there's changeups, but the best hit in baseball is a well-located fastball, especially of the four-seam variety with Dustin May, because if he's locating that pitch, that opens everything up. So he walks Perdomo there, then first pitch to Rojas. He gets him to line to center for the second out. Then he gets Marte to ground to short for the third out. So May works his way around a 1-out walk there in the top of the third. Then bottom third, Betts, another leadoff walk. Freeman fly to right for the first out. Smith line to left. And just look at this inning. Here's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Sometimes baseball is going to baseball, and tonight was one of those nights. So, sorry, guys. Forgot to bring water, but Betts draws that leadoff walk. Freeman, he flies out to right for the first out. But yeah, Betts at first, and then Will Smith, the hottest hitter through 2 games in Major League Baseball, and like we talked about, almost a 110.8 off the bat, a 920 expected batting average. Muncy follows that up with 109.7 off the bat, a 640 batting average. So the BABIP gods giveth and the BABIP gods taketh. And on that play right there, during that inning, they didn't give the Dodgers what they needed. So jump to the top of the fourth. Gurriel grounded to second for the first out. Then 0-1 pitch to Christian Walker. He ripped a single to left for a 1-out base hit. Then Carroll grounded to second. Walker advanced to second on the play for the second out. Then 1-0 pitch to Moreno. He lines to right for the third out. So he was cruising at that point, worked his way around another 1-out base hit. So, yeah, he was working his way through traffic at times. It's not like every inning was a clean inning for D-May, but that is a sign of composure, a sign of growth for him, that he's able to focus on the batter and throw strikes and get those outs any way he can, whether it be flyouts, whether it be strikeouts, whether it be groundouts. But here we go, back to the comment section. IB Strokin, what up, IB Strokin? Always rocking with us. You know I appreciate you, my man. 2023 Fire Take 1. Dodgers win the World Series on the back of the Young Bucks 2. D-Mac announces presidential run. Okay, comment of the night status.
You win.
Comment of the night status. Diane Schroeder tells a record number of people to smash the likes. There you go. IB Strokin coming through with the Fire Take. I mean, presidential D-Mac. Yeah, man, I definitely would change some things as the president for sure. But good times. Hey, man, President McCain. But I'm McCain with a K, not a C. Everyone thinks I'm John McCain's relative or something like that. But here we go. What's up, D-Mac? What up, Ricky over on YouTube? Anthony Keene, off topic, but shout out to Anthony Davis. He was possessed by the Mama Spirit tonight. Don't do that, Anthony Keene. Don't do that. You know how easily it could be to take me off track and go off the rails on a Lakers post-game show. But yeah, AD definitely came through. I saw the internet was giving him some flack for that ankle, saying Glassman, but he finished strong. Yeah, he was him tonight for sure. Vin loved to tell stories about that guy. Lakers over 500, but let's sign Puig for tomorrow's game. Roger Kennard, what's up, Roger, the Los Angeles Dodger? Dustin May will be an all-star this season, and he might lead the team with 18 wins. Let's go Dodgers 2023. Roger, the Los Angeles Dodger from Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Money's not a pitcher. Here we go. DK, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, bottom of the fourth inning, Peralta draws a 1-out walk. Vargas, he drew a 4-pitch walk. Then a 2-2 count. Outman hits a tapper, and Moreno, he makes a great throw to get the lead runner, gets Peralta out at third. So not a lot of luck for Peralta on the base pass tonight. Gets thrown out there early in the game at second after the review. Wasn't able to get his hand on the extra large pizza box there. And then in that play right there, they get him out. But it really wasn't for a lack of base running or anything like that. It was a really nice play by Moreno to get that lead runner. But that was it for Merrill Kelly. His night was done after just 74 pitches, goes 3 2/3. Then at that point, you're feeling really good about the God says DFA Trace and Munch. You really can't. Yeah, we need hitters. Our offense stinks. Hey, man, it's 2 games, okay? If it's 2 games, last night they put up 8 runs. So, yeah, I mean, 8 plus 1, 9, I mean, 4.5 runs per game. That's pretty solid. So let's wait for a more thorough sample size before we rush to judgment here. But we got Darky. Here we go. We got Darky K here. One second, guys. Let me get that comment section back up. We got why do they boo Soto? I'm not really sure about that. Sometimes when you get booed, it's like a good thing. I mean, it means they care, right? We got, do you think Muncy should stay at cleanup Roy Estrada? I think that when this lineup thrives, it's when Max Muncy is a guy that's hitting 30-plus home runs. And they have to see early on this season if he can be that guy that hit 36 home runs before for 2 different seasons. If he can be the guy that's hit more home runs for this team since you put on this uniform than any other Dodger. So, yeah, if he can be the most prolific thumper and bring that thunder, absolutely you want to see him at the cleanup spot. But, yeah, I mean, JD Martinez isn't really faring much better. We know the Dodgers, they like to stagger the right, left, right early on up in the lineup, so you're going to want to see that as much as possible. So for right now, the way he's hitting the ball, he looks a lot better than he did at the start of last season. So I want to give Max Muncy the time he deserves, and I think the results will show. Like I said, I mean, he hit the ball hard. I mean, the numbers, if you look at the expected stats, the predicted stats, he should have gone 3 for 5 tonight with some extra base hits. And we're debating who's the player of the game between Dustin May and Max Muncy. That's how baseball is. It's so funny seeing people overreact after one game. The snake ate the Dodgers dog. Craig Osterberg, there you go. A little comment of the night for my man, Craig Osterberg. Jamie Lannister, Miguel Vargas has a career 300, 400, 500 potential. I wouldn't say 300, but I think maybe just under that, maybe 285. He's going to hit over 300 at some point for sure. But to average that for an entire career, that's a pretty tall task. That's difficult to do. But jumping up to the top of the 5th, he was cruising. First 1, 2, 3 of the night for Dustin May. He gets McCarthy to pop to short for the first out. Thomas grounded to short for the second out. And he struck out Perdomo swinging on a cutter. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that at-bat right there to Perdomo, I mean, his stuff was cutting like a DJ. Went with that bread and cutter there. And, yeah, you saw him get pumped. You saw him skipping out there on the mound. And that is when you want to see the punch-outs with Dustin May to finish off innings. And that was a perfect example right there. First 1, 2, 3 of the night for Dustin Mania. And then jumping to the bottom of the 5th, Betts struck out swinging, more chasing. Like I said, one of the things I don't like, one of my big takeaways, is the at-bat quality for the Dodgers tonight wasn't on par. It was a little uncharacteristic from what we've seen from this team. Betts strikes out swinging, chasing a slider down the way for the first out, and then Freeman grounded to short for the second out, and then Smith, he draws a 2-out walk. He lays off that pitch. His pitch recognition is just uncanny. Will Smith's just locked in to start the year. So he draws that 2-out walk, and then Max Muncy, bottom of the 5th there, he flies to center for the 3rd out. So if you look at that, here's another example. Max Muncy in the 5th, that fly out there, the expected batting average wasn't too high at 100, but he hit the ball hard. 102.3 off the bat. Almost 102.7 Kiss FM there, but 102.3 off the bat for the 3rd out. So Dodgers get another base runner, weren't able to capitalize. Then to the top of the 6th, another 1, 2, 3 for Dustin May. Rojas popped to second for the first out. Marte lined to center for the second out. 1-2 pitch. May punches out Gurriel on a cutter for the 3rd out. So getting ahead in the count, dominating hitters. And, yeah, he was fantastic. And then bottom of the 6th inning, J.D. Martinez struck out swinging on a slider up in the zone for the first out. Peralta flied to left for the second out. Then Miggy Vargas drew a 2-out walk. And then with a runner on first with 2 outs and Alman at the plate, he goes down swinging on a slider low and away. So another example, opportunity to get a rally going, and they're offering out pitches out of the zone. And we saw that there in the bottom of the 6th. 6th. Then top of the 7th, Dustin May back out there, and he throws one pitch, and you're already feeling good about it because first time in his career that he's able to get through the 7th inning, and he was cruising, man. It came so easily for Dustin May. He's a guy that when he's on and he's hitting his spots, his stuff is so electric, his stuff is so filthy that he's able to have so much success out there. He goes out there and he gets Walker to ground to short, then he gets Carroll to ground to second, and that's when you really appreciate what he has. I mean, look at the at-bat to Carroll. He falls behind the count 3-0, but use that four-seam fastball really middle in, and it still is able to get a ground out because if you look at that pitch sequence, he's going change-up, bottom of the zone, four-seamer inside, then cutter up in the zone, and then four-seam fastball kind of middle in. So he's really working all parts of the plate, and that's why he's able to do what he does. And then Moreno, he singled to right first pitch, left that single. Not a great spot. And then, dealing with you started to see him fade a little bit. You started to see some fatigue set in. And then, but you saw, he got to punch out when he needed to. He got him swing at that cutter away. And that was it for Dustin May on the night. So a great showing for D. May. Really, that to me is my biggest takeaway, the fact that he was able to have so much success. But let's jump back into the comments section, guys. We're going to wrap this up. Like I said, shows might be shorter this year, but we're not messing around as much. We're getting right to the action, and we're getting all your fire takes. So, jump to the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, really the game really came down to, do some more takes, and then we'll continue to wrap this one up. And thanks for rocking with us, guys, on a Friday night. The Dodgers lose to the D-backs 2-1. Offense couldn't get it done. D-Bay was fantastic. Dodgers 1-1. We got how about that drone show? Yeah, any takes on the drone show? I didn't see anything, but if you saw anything, let me know. Good line by May, deserved to win. Feast or famine offense from last year is back. That's from 14 Habibs over on YouTube. Roy Estrada with the laugh emojis, clown on Soto. We got DKM. We got Diane. How often do you go to games? We got Diane Schroeder coming through with $20. I'm putting that right towards my jar that I'm filling up for money. I'm going to give the organization to sign Shohei Ohtani. This is for your next 7-Eleven run. Seems like you need a Michelada. Yeah, I'm going to use that for my next 7-Eleven run for sure. Give me a Mitch. Give me a CZ. You got me. I appreciate you as always. The fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation post-game show, Diane Schroeder. We got We got J-Kid. Dodgers should have gone after Bruce Bochy and traded Dave Roberts for Corey Seager. Yeah, J-Kid. Look, Bruce Bochy, Hall of Fame manager, but let's see how this plays out. Brian, I appreciate D-Mac as a man. Right back at you. Let's see how this season plays out. I think it's going to be a very telling year for Dave Roberts, a guy that doesn't have the deck as stacked as he has in previous years. He has to cultivate and develop this young talent, put guys in spots where they can excel. The bullpen is not as push button as it's been in the past. The starting rotation has a lot of questions. So one thing he always does a great job at is getting guys to buy in, is to continue to have this culture in that clubhouse where it's just all about winning. And I think that you're going to see him lean on some of those clubhouse leaders, some of those vets, the Haywards, the Peraltas even, Freddie Freeman's, Mookie Betts. You got a veteran-laden team that has a lot of leadership qualities, and I think this team, they realize what happened last year. Also, you have a lot of guys with a lot to prove still at their career. Some of the names I just mentioned, a David Peralta, a Jason Hayward, a Noah Syndergaard, Clay Kershaw. He wants to end his career with the World Series at some point. Then the young guys are trying to emerge. So Dave Roberts has to put that up in a pot and kind of just stew that together and try to come out victorious in the NL West, which I'm confident that they will, because I think this team's going to look different after the deadline. I think they're going to go after a starting pitcher and possibly a bat that can match lefties. Justin Lamas, 2024-2025 free agent class is going to be stacked. Don't try to bait me into that one, but you got Soto, Burns, Fried, Bieber, Goldschmidt, Alonso, Glasnow, Adames. Yeah, it's going to be pretty stacked. Altuve, Bregman. Yeah, I don't know if those guys will fit the last two guys, but Soto, yeah, I don't know if they're going to drop $500 million after that 2025 class on him possibly. He'll probably be the next guy after Shohei Ohtani to get the super big bag. But Freddie needs to bat higher so he gets more ABs. Yeah, I think the two spots good for. Last year we saw when they went to that Mookie Trey, Freddie Freeman lineup, they had a lot of success with that. But I think Will Smith in the 3-hole, the success that he's having, you keep him right there. I think that Freddie Freeman, like the 2-hole, getting more at-bats. Look, it's Freddie Freeman, man. He's going to end up hitting 300. I think I picked him to have like 3 316, 37, I don't know, 311. I mean, I don't know. He had 325 last year. So uncharacteristic is bringing Investia with a one-run lead. That's from Ryan Lee. Well, if you look at that situation, he's forced to face some righties there. Yeah, let's break down that inning right there. So first we got, top of the 8th inning. So 2-2 count. He gets Ahmed to ground to first for the first out. And then Longoria pinch hitting for Perdomo, 3-2 pitch. Longoria doubles to left, missing high, missing low, missing with that glove side fastball there. And then he just wasn't locating. And when he doesn't locate, he's going to run into some trouble. And then another pinch hitter, Kyle Lewis, comes up, and on a 2-1 count, he crushes that 2-run shot to left, a slider inner half that caught too much of the plate and just didn't have that depth, really right in his nitro zone. That made it 2-1 D-backs. Then Marte flied to right for the second out. Then Gurriel Jr. singled to right. So Evan Phillips came in. First pitch, he gets Walker to fly to center. So really, one, you're going to need to see Alex Vesia be the Dodgers' best high-leverage reliever. I think Caleb Ferguson tonight, he looked pretty nice. I mean, I think he pitched well. I'll give Caleb Ferguson, by the way, we got to throw out our grade for Alex Vesia. So may I have an A. Alex Vesia, I'm giving him, let's give him a C. I said C- earlier, but look, I mean, give up a 2-run shot. I'll give him a C. I'll stick with my grade. I always stick with my guns. C- for Alex Vesia. He just didn't look good. I think it's going to be an adjustment for him to really get acclimated and find a rhythm with that pitch clock. I think when you look at the way he pitches, he does that big strut around the mound. You got to really get set and get locked in and max out. So, yeah, I think if Daniel Hudson is a guy who's fully healthy, maybe you do see Evan Phillips earlier in this game. We saw Brusdar up too, so they're going to have to figure out how they're going to manage this bullpen with Huddy out and without a defined closer. So Lewis hits that bomb, and, yeah, just not a great pitch there, and Lewis takes advantage of it, and that put the D-backs up. And then 9th inning, I thought the first pitch, of course, Carroll reaches on that infield single, was originally ruled out. Then he was ruled safe after they reviewed it. Ferguson wasn't able to get his foot on the bag. So, yeah, the Diamondbacks definitely, they had the advantage when it came to getting the calls as far as the replay reviews. They took full advantage. So he reaches on that single, and then Ferguson comes back. I thought it was a dominant at bat there against Moreno. He's pumping 4-seam fastballs. Then on the 0-2, throws that curveball, gets him to foul it off, and then he goes upstairs with that 4-seam fastball, touch 95, gets him swinging there for the first out. Then he gets McCarthy to ground to that fielder's choice. Really nice play there. Hot shot, Freddie Freeman on his knees. They get the lead runner at second. And then he gets Ahmed to ground to second. And that ends the inning. So Ferguson gives him that one hit, but he's able to limit it to just that, and he gives the Dodgers a chance to maybe make a comeback. Look, 48 comeback wins for the Dodgers team last season. You were hoping maybe early on they'd find some magic, but look, got up to a good start. McGough pitching to Betts. He draws a walk on 5 pitches, and then Freeman grounded to that fielder's choice. Yeah, Freeman wasn't seeing it particularly well tonight. I think Freddie is going to obviously have a lot of success this season, but tonight just wasn't his night. And then Smith grounded to the pitcher. I was feeling good about Smith there, up 2-0 in the count, and then he swings at that slider, and then he grounds out on that sinker away. So they were trying to pitch him away tonight, and he's done a really good job earlier in the season, just getting his bat on the ball, not trying to do too much. But in that case, it was a ground out. And then Muncy, last batter of the game, not a great at-bat there. A strike, swing on the slider, and then another one on the slider, and then he flies out to end the game. So, yeah, Dodgers lose to the D-backs. Final score 2-1. But thanks for rocking with us, guys, on the first post-game show of the year. Broke it all down. First inning to the 9th inning, everything in between. Like I said, the big takeaway is that Dustin May got off to a great start, and that is the most important thing. I'll say it before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Dustin May, he gets an A, a career-high 7 innings pitched, no earned run, 4 punchies, 1 walk, 7 shutty for D-May. Changing locations, changing speeds, and also the mechanics, repeatable on the mechanics, and that really allowed him to throw a lot of strikes and be very effective. So, yeah, that should be really your biggest takeaways. Dustin May looked fantastic. Also, too, this bullpen has to prove themselves. I think that's my other big takeaway is this bullpen has to prove themselves. Look, say what you want. Yes, there's a lot of talent there, but bullpen pieces are volatile. They don't have a defined closer for the first time in a while, and guys are going to have to find their roles, and they're going to have success. And it wasn't Alex Vesia's night. Evan Phillips came in. He made it look easy. He restored order, and then Ferguson was able to pitch well. But we'll see how this bullpen pitches early on the season. I thought Bickford pitched well yesterday, so we'll monitor that. But here we go. Who you guys, by the way, give me a score prediction for tomorrow. Mad Bum versus Kershaw. They should sign Puig overnight just to face Mad Bum. Padres on pace for 0-162. There you go. That's a fire take.
Fire take.
Isaiah says Soto and Ohtani both Dodgers. It's a comment of the night.
Win.
Shohei won't mind. We got the Dodgers. We'll get him tomorrow. Outman offense and defense better than Cody's. Hey, it's very early. It's very early. I think offensively, a shorter, more compact stroke. For him, it's just about pitch recognition and just getting experience against big league breaking balls. I think defensively, they're both great. I mean, Outman told me that the thing about Cody Bellinger that's most impressive is that he can fly out there, and he's just such a natural runner out there in center field. So he's a very talented center fielder. So I know that a lot of people, they think you have to bash Cody Bellinger just to build up James Outman, but from talking to James Outman, quite a bit at this point, I can tell you that's probably the last thing he would want. 6-1 Dodgers tomorrow. Diane Shooter says Dodgers 5-2. Eric Hoare says 5-3 Dodgers. Dodgers win 8-1. But Jesus loves you. Okay, Doug, the wordsmith McKay never disappoints Dodgers fans. Thanks, David. I appreciate you. I don't know why I'm coughing. I haven't coughed in like 5 months, but Vesia is horrible. That's from Container. Why is everyone harder than them then? Team Rose 8-2. Here we go. So we got the 8-2 plus an after party at King Taco in East Los. That sounds fun. I'd be stroking. Chunk Key Ho says 7-5. Justin Lamas says LA 8-4. Mad Bum sucks. Now, Katarina says I could hit Vest. Y'all hit him up. I'm going to see if you guys can meet at a local high school, have that at bat, make that happen. You need a Sprite from Craig Osterberg. I think I'll crush one after the game. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. We got a couple more here. He gets you to the playoffs over and over again, STFU. I'm pretty sure it's a debate about Dave Roberts. Last comment of the night. God Jupiter says the bad news for tomorrow's game, Kersh gives up 3 runs. The good news, Mad Bum gives up 5. Good night, y'all. Good night, Deborah Young. And welcome back, guys. So we got a long season ahead of ups and downs. Jared Myers says CT3. I know he will be mainly against lefties. Yeah, mainly. And you'll see. They'll have an injury or two, and they'll plug them in. Thanks for this, D-Mac. Thanks, Diane. Yeah, Friday night show, guys. Thanks, Brian. But anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Dodgers lose 2-1. And see you guys next time. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.